in Michigan, you may be eligible for an expungement. What a Michigan expungement means is that having a criminal record after 5 years, you can petition the judge to have your criminal record erased, to go forward without the label of being a criminal. Now, the expungement process in Michigan is quite comprehensive. What it means is submitting an application both to the judge, the prosecutor, the Attorney General, and the Michigan State Police Department. All agencies review your application and ultimately form an opinion if your record should be expunged. Now, I know what you're going through. You've been dealing with a criminal record for at least 5 years. You're doing research on the internet saying, well, am I eligible? Well, let's talk about eligibility. In Michigan, under the current law, you can have up to 2 misdemeanors expunged off of your record, or 1 felony. Now, in order to have a felony off of your record, you can only have 3 total crimes, 1 being a felony and 2 misdemeanors. In order to have a misdemeanor off of your record, the most you can have is 2. Now, there's certain offenses that are not eligible for expungement. Various serious felonies like murder, criminal sexual conduct offenses are not eligible for expungement. Anything that involves a vehicle in the vehicle code are not eligible for expungement. That may be accomplished in what's called a pardon, which I have another video that you should view if you're interested in a pardon. But for an expungement, if you are eligible, then comes the comprehensive process. It means being fingerprinted and sending those fingerprints to the Michigan State Police Department to make sure there are no pending charges, and also to verify your criminal history. The Attorney General of Michigan and the prosecutor in the original case will review your application to form an opinion. Do they support the expungement? Do they not have any opinion on it? Or are they against that expungement? Most prosecutors will actually put a no comment, or that they'll leave it up to the court. Some offenses, they'll actually involve the victim of the case, and the victim can come to court and discuss the case and ask the judge not to have it expunged. Ultimately, for an expungement, the judge makes that decision. Now, an expungement can be approached in a number of different ways. You could fill out an application, send it in, hope things work out. That's not what I do. Clients are only eligible for an expungement every couple of years, and if you're denied, you can't petition the court for a number of years. So what I do is a comprehensive process. What we do is we file a motion with the court laying out how you live your life over the last 5+ years, documenting your work history, accomplishments, volunteer work, status of your family, different things in your life that have been impacted by having a criminal record. A judge and prosecutor and the police department want to know how you lived your life the last 5+ years, where you're going, and why this should be off of your record. An expungement in Michigan is not a right, it's a privilege. We need to petition the court to convince them that this should be off of your record. So what I do is I do all this paperwork for my client, file a comprehensive motion. We also gather all the documentation of your life for the court, for the prosecutor, and the police to review. We then go to court with all of this and argue with the judge in order to have this expunged. Now, my process is so comprehensive that a number of times I've actually showed up in court, and the judge, before even hearing any argument, actually said, I'm going to expunge this, I'll sign the order, there's no need to have further argument on this issue. So what we're doing is trying to provide all the information needed even before we go to court. Going to court should only be closing the deal. Now, if you live out of state, well, you'll have to come to Michigan for the expungement. If you're in Michigan, you'll have to take off the day from work. But that's certainly worth having something off of your record. So what I also do, it's a post-active program. You've already been convicted, been sentenced, time has gone by. But what we do things after the fact, it may be additional community service. It may be a status update with a counselor. If you were convicted of certain crimes, I'll want a court and a prosecutor to know that the last 5+ years there have been no further issues, and someone has evaluated you and said this is not going to happen again. A prosecutor and a judge can't expunge something if they think, well, something is going to pop up in the future. So we dot all our I's and cross all our T's. We're very comprehensive because you only get one shot at this. So if you're thinking about an expungement, I've kind of given you the outline of how you're eligible. I encourage you to contact me with the details of your crimes, and I'll let you know if you're specifically qualified for that. We can talk about the particular court, the particular judge, the different prosecutors, any hurdles in having this expunged. It's been 5+ years and you've been dealing with this, for a while. It's impacted your ability to get jobs. It's impacted your confidence level. I hear from clients all the time that they went for an interview, they were pretty much told you have the job, and then at the last second, well, unfortunately, you don't have the job. And sometimes it takes a number of times going in and not getting a job to realize why you're not getting it. You're not getting the job because you have a criminal record. We can expunge that. We can get that off of your record. If you're not eligible for that expungement, we can talk about a pardon. So I look forward to helping you, exploring the different options, and ultimately, hopefully, getting this off your record and moving forward without the label of being a criminal.